What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Shout out to the joiners, shout out to the Point of View crew, and happy Thanksgiving. I'm recording this the night before. I'm going to wake up, upload it bright and early. You guys are going to have it. Happy Thanksgiving. Much love and nothing but the utmost respect to you and yours. And let me tell you this, I know my stuff. I know my stuff because I left this beanie in my mom's house like a year ago. And I went over to her house a couple days ago to take her to the doctor. And I walked in, I saw it from afar, and I said, that's my beanie. Good looking out. Thank you for taking care of my beanie. Be that as it may, homeboy, trip on this. We have a viewer's choice video today. So excited, so happy, and as always, you guys did not disappoint. This is your guys' video. All I do is put a community tab saying, hey, hook me up with the questions, comments, and concerns. You guys come through. I pick some. Here we are. Every video is yours. The channel wouldn't be a channel without you guys. So that's why we say, man, much love to the Point of View crew. Much love. So here we go. This is viewer's choice. And I appreciate you guys. Let's do it. Blue waffle breakfast. Love this question. Why do they call them lowriders? In regards to the Nazi lowriders. Why are they lowriders? He further made the statement. He said, I have some lowrider cars. And they're very expensive. It's an expensive habit. It's an expensive hobby to do lowriders. Is that what it is? Nazi lowriders, they have lowrider cars. No, what it is NLR started in YA, and those dudes took their stilo straight from the Southsiders. Straight from the essays. Big baggy pants that are like this. You know what I mean? Baby cupped at the bottom. A Pendleton with just one or two buttons. Wife beater. The ponyo, the baseball cap with a flipped up bill, and it's like, what's up, Holmes? That whole stilo, brother, that whole style of the Chicano is how the NLR rolled. They had that whole vibe. So it's like, yes, they're white boys, yes, they're Nazis, but they're like the Southsiders with their style, so lowriders. You really couldn't tell one from the other. You know, walking down the hall, saw how they were dressed. They had this straight up style from the Southsiders, bro, but so do the Suicidals. Look at Mike Muir from Suicidal Tendencies. Same thing. Which album cover is it that he has the big baggy blue dickies, the blue ponyo, the slingshot? So that's why the lowrider. It used to be hard to get in. NLR. You used to have to earn every letter. You had to put in work for that N. Put in work for that L. Then for the R. And since it started in YA, it used to have to be, you had to go to YA. To be considered. But then after a while, how it would be is a dude would hit the yard, some high power, official, certified lowrider, and he'd get him a little car, some orbiters, some followers, 4 or 5 dudes that just did whatever he said and followed him around and paid his dope debts and gave him commissary. So he'd say, look, all you guys are prospecting for me, and he'd make them all lowriders. Sometimes I didn't have to put in work just for getting them that jar of coffee and that can of tobacco. So start getting abused. And so that's one of the things that started the downfall, beginning of the end. But that's how they got the name NLR, Nazi lowrider, is because they had the style of a Southsider, like a lowrider. So, Mama Wrong Again says, prison barbers. I thought it was interesting. When I was at Soledad. I thought I lost a question. It's a hardcore question. It was written on the first page. It's too hardcore. I can't even start off with this question. So I ripped it out. Stuck it back here, and I thought I lost it. Kicking in with a panic attack. I found it. Everything's good. And I didn't even have to count to 10 and catch my breath. Dude, Mama's Wrong Again. He said, hey, man, what's up with some prison barbers? I thought it was interesting when I was in the whole Soledad. There was a dude. He was on a different yard than me. So I don't know if this is true or false or how we got the nickname. They called him the Butcher. Based on him being the barber. I don't know if it was an affectionate name, like, haha, he's the butcher, or if he really, like, butchered up some people's heads, and they called him the Butcher. I butchered a dude's head up once. I felt bad, because when you bick someone's head, by bick it, I mean take it all the way down with the razor, in county jail, what you're going to do is you're going to take some fingernail clippers and cut off that guard, where it's just the razor. And so that's what I did, and that first swipe, I peeled the skin all the way back. It was gushing blood, and I was like, handed the razor off someone else, and like, por favor, can you finish that for me? So, orale pues, and I kicked rocks. So, dude, in county jail, the rule is, if you go into a pod, and they have one set of clippers for all races, the white boys cannot use it. Now, if you go into a pod, this is in county jail now, and they hand in clippers that are just the white boys, and every race has their own, then we can use them. But most of the people in county jail, even Wasco Reception, would just pick their hair, take it down with the razor. Because think about it, if you have 5 guys beating somebody up, and the cops come up, and everyone scatters, and everyone has a big head, I'll refer to it. That's what I call it, a big head. If you shave it all the way down with the razor, a big head. So 5 dudes, Mr. Cleaned out, all dressed the same state. Believe it's hard to identify them. If one had a mohawk, one had a mullet, one had a flat top, one had this and that. So a lot of people just pick the hair because clippers are hard to get, or clippers will be for everybody, and it's just easier and just to blend in. So, in Wasco Reception, you can check out clippers. A lot of people don't use them. When I was at CMC West, they had a shack. That was the barber shack. They'd rotate out different races. Sometimes the white guys had it a couple days a week, and you go in there and hang out, check people, and do tattoos. Of course, we'd abuse it. And I can't remember what prison it was. I want to say Arizona, that the barber had a cart. You just push around this little cart, and you just flag him down. He had a pay number. He give you a little haircut. But mostly, man, you just take care of yourself because you can get clippers in there. You borrow homeboy's clippers. You just shave your head. I did see a fight go down because someone borrowed someone's clippers, and they had the nerve to shave their nutsack and did their old bush up. He's getting a family visit. Let me borrow your clippers, dog. And he said, dude, don't use them on the nuts, homeboy. He used them on the nuts, dog, and they got busy. He almost didn't get his family visit because he had a big old shiner. Be that as it may. So, that's what's up with the, Alrighty, so, Tyler's World says, a time you got high on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and how do people act? Man, so, on my second violation as a Mesa Verde CCF, me and the homeboy Bodine, this was a couple days before Christmas, got that big old bag of garriga on the front, just because we were both depressed. I mean, my father just passed away. I didn't know where my mom was. My girlfriend was out there getting plugged by everybody. And it's just like, I was stressed out, homeboy. And this dude offered us a big old bag of garriga. And I didn't have no money. I had no money coming in. And neither did Bodine. But we got it just to use it, just have an escape, just to kind of get loaded. Didn't enjoy it. Stressed out because knew it came with a big old debt. And so how did people react? But dude, we were high for 2 weeks straight, including Christmas Eve and Christmas. And the funny part about it is we tried to share with some people, but no one wanted no part in it. We really tried to share because we knew we couldn't afford it. And if we can get this guy to use a little bit, we'll be like, hey, kick in some money. You use some too. Got to help pay for it. And we're like, no way. And to further answer your question, how do people act? People acted nervous and worried because they knew we couldn't pay for it. All the white boys were tripping, and all the white boys were like, dude, this isn't right, Splinter and Bodine. You guys are going to get us in a big old cross. You're going to cause a big old riot with the Southsiders because you got this debt and you're not going to be able to pay it. Sure enough, it was $180. After 3 weeks, we could not pay for it, and they doubled it up. What's 181 plus 181? 360, I believe. And they said, we want that in 2 weeks. And finally I said, dude, if I couldn't give you 180, I certainly can't give you 360. We ended up working this deal. I was going to get jumped in the library, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff happened. Dude got busted. But bro, hella loaded on Christmas Eve and Christmas. How did everyone act? Worried. That's how they act. Dude, no one likes it when a white boy gets in debt. That's why they're quick to remove him, bro. They don't want to kick off the whole yard. Because, dude, they'll lay down over that shit. Alrighty, so, Sun Racer. Favorite prison dessert. Apple Crisp. Apple Crisp. Is there another prison dessert? Apple Crisp all day. And you know what? I hate apple pie. I don't like apples, or they're crunchy to me, or they're But dude, I love that Apple Crisp. And trip on this, I'm a solid dad. My silly trouble, a skinhead from Riverside, is working as a porter. And you know the porters get a bunch of extra food. And he had a big old bag of Apple Crisp. He was like dragging it along. I looked out my window, I was like, yes, Trouble, you go, homeboy. I'm just picturing him bring home that big old bag of Apple Crisp. I saw him walk this way with it. And then I saw his homeboy, this dude named Dog, a biker from Riverside, one of his homeboys. So Trouble walks this way with Apple Crisp, and I see Dog walk this way. And I'm like, no! He gave him that whole bag. And the funny thing about Dog is I know that he was missing a leg. I know that. But yet I have visions of him walking by with the Apple Crisp. I'll never forget it. So, and I know he walked. So I'm thinking to myself, how would he walk? So I know he's missed a leg. And I know it wasn't a fake leg. Can you imagine if they gave him a fake leg and it was made of metal? Dude, they'd slice that thing up and break it up in so many different filetos. Wouldn't it be funny? What if he had a fake leg and his metal and had like 5 little metal toes? Bro, they'd be 5 little metal filetos. So there's no way he had a fake leg. Maybe he had crutches. But this dude used to always send us kites asking for coffee. give me some coffee, give me some coffee. And one time, one of the kites he sent asking for coffee had coffee spilt on it. It's like, no, buddy, I think we had enough coffee for the day. Jimmy Christmas. So, homeboy. And I gotta tell you what, I was really pissed off, bro. It's not my favorite dessert, but I loved it. The brownies, Wasco reception, because he used to give this big old thing of butter. Not a big old thing of butter, but butter. And I'd put the butter on top of my brownie, and I loved it, brother. I loved it. I'd eat my dinner, and I'd put the brownie on the butter. The one day they didn't have, I put my butter on the brownie. The one day they didn't have butter. And I was like, God, they probably forgot it. And the next day they didn't have it. Next day they didn't have it. It just took away the butter, dude. The brownie was never the same. And it's funny, because some brownies were this big, and you can literally, when you grab the tray, they're like real heavy, and they'll almost knock the tray over. It's sitting in the corner like a big old heavy-ass brownie, and some will be some little small things. I think they do that on purpose. In the kitchen, they should go out of their way to make sure they're even. I heard at Pelican Bay, Corcoran Shoe, they do go out of their way to make it even. Because they don't want dudes in there killing themselves over who got a bigger piece of pie, or brownie, or cake, or apple crisp. Bro, also, I remember Wasco reception, dude, every Tuesday, they gave pancakes, and they gave oatmeal, and they gave this yogurt. And I would always just mix it all together. It's so bomb. Pancakes, oatmeal, yogurt. And then one Tuesday, the yogurt was gone. And it never came back, dude. It was just like pancakes and oatmeal. And you know what? I always mix everything together. I must be starving, because look at my favorite breakfast in Kern County Jail, and I would never eat this on the streets, dude. So gross. Beans, like some gross old pinto beans, no flavor, kind of coldish, with some cornflakes and a hard-boiled egg, all mixed together. Dude, I would tear it up. This one dude, they wanted to beat him up because he was at the breakfast table always going, and people getting ignored like, dude, quit going, So, bro, that's what's up with that. Now, how about this one? Wegan, first time I had to use a piece. First time I had to use steel. I never had to use steel. No one ever said you had to. I don't know how I'd feel if someone said that. I remember when I was the whole solid dad, I was on this side, east side, third tier, west side, third tier. A couple white dudes were told they had to go to yard and slice someone up. And they rolled it up, bro. They're like, oh, hell no. That must be a hell of a thing. Someone say, look, you have to go do this. I know of a car, and I'm going to throw them out there. There's a group of inmates, a car of people in the Kern County prison system. They do have the rule that they have to pack. Not all of them, but their day will come up. They're like, hey, you're packing today. Take a filetto to the yard. Bro, white boys don't have that rule. I've never been told you had to use something. But the first time I used something was on the streets in a robbery. And I was really itching to do it. I really wanted to do it because I was in prison. Wasco reception, my homeboy told me. He's like, hey, if you jack someone, poke him. He showed me where. He's like, there's a spot, just poke me. Sometimes, even before you tell him it's a robbery. As soon as you get him alone, as soon as you want to go through with your plan, just boom, hit him. And then say, hey, it's robbery, give me whatever I want. And they'll empty their pockets so fast. So I was itching. I really wanted to try it. Just like I was itching to steal my first car. Dude, I was unsettled, bro. I really wanted to steal a car so bad before I had. Just like a big air compressor. There was a time me and some homeboys had like a little thing going on. Who could steal an air compressor? They're just not easy to get. I tried off a couple of ice cream trucks. I ended up getting one. Not easy. Homeboy wanted to do this. And so I got this dude. It's going to jack him. We ended up over here at the spot. And boom. Before I even said, is it a stick up? Or is it, break yourself in your pockets? Before I said any of that, I just boom. And he ran in a circle, and then boom, bumped into the wall. And I said, empty your pocket. And he emptied, and he took off running, and he had his car out there, and he ran past his car. And I was running next to him going, get in your car, and go. Dude, don't run off and leave your car there because, or you come back to the car or what? Because this is the house I'm vacating. I tried to play it off like I did. It was a whole big thing. I didn't want his car there. I wanted him to get in and leave. That was the plan. But, so that's what happened my first time. And was there more to the question? He said, oh, what was I thinking at the time? What was I thinking when I was getting ready to do my first thing? I was just thinking about the robbery. I was just thinking if he was going to give it up, if he's going to try to take off running without it, if he's going to try to fight me, grab, I didn't know how he'd react. So was I stressed out about doing it? No. Very desensitized. Seen it in prison, on the streets. See all those convicts that are in prison poking people, then they get on the streets, they hang out with each other. Prison rules on the streets. 99.9% of the time do apply, and when people get in trouble, they get poked, and they get jumped, and they get TP'd, and dude, they'll quick to pull it out, poke someone on the streets too. Desensitized to it. So I was just thinking, bro, help me, gives me what I want. So that's what happened there. FJB underscore OBS 7.3. Want to see some of your prison ink. How about the back piece? That'll work, huh? Prison back piece. So, that was worked on by about, I don't know, 5 different people. The neck, all done in prison. A dude named Buddy did my throat. A dude from Montavia did the skull. A dude from Hell's Angels did this skull. And Buddy was just a little short guy. I got time to get in the story? A little just short guy. And he had like little guy syndrome. When I first met him, he's like, dude, I'm down to ride. I'll fight. I don't care if someone wants to fight, dude. He goes, if you ever want to fight, come get me and I'll fight with you. I'm down to jump. I'm down to get jumped, dude. I just love to sling these dogs. And he's like 5'2" and glass little guy. Like, okay, bro, I believe you. It's okay, calm down. And he did this tattoo. He outlined it one night, shaded the next. I was giving him weed. Some dude over here in this barracks gonna give me some weed. I was gonna give it to him for the tat. There's a couple of joints. But before that happened, someone gave me a joint. Like the next day after he did the tat, and I was out there smoking it. And he saw me and he got all mad. Thought I burned him. But no, dude, I am gonna give you weed. I didn't say I was gonna give you the next weed I got. Like the next joint I get, buddy, is yours. No, I said, hey, I'm paying some weed. And it was that weed I got. I didn't get it yet. So he got all buttered, dog. And he's like, "Rrr." And man, I was like, okay. So, yeah. Jess the Barber. A prison beef or fight. The pit back up on the streets. There's these 2 cellies that lived together and they were friends. One of them, I don't know if he got moved to a different part of the jail. I don't know if he straight got released. But one of them's at court. While he's at court, the cellie, his homeboy actually, took his deodorant, took a bunch of stuff, some coffee, took a bunch of his store. His cosmetics. And either went home or he must have went to a different part of the jail. I don't know why he'd take stuff home. But I don't know. I'm not clear where he went. I know he left their cell, took a bunch of stuff. Dude comes back from court, he's gone, his stuff's gone, he's pissed off, he's mad. But he knows, because that dude told him, that he has some stuff hidden from a little lick he hit at his grandparents' house, hidden in the hot water heater. And I remember when he told me the story, I'm thinking, in the hot water heater, you couldn't hide anything in my hot water heater, like where it's like a round thing, nothing here, nothing on top, maybe. I'm like, huh. But he said there's some at the hot water heater, so this dude got out, went to his grandparents' house, since he knew where that was too, broke in the garage, took whatever was hidden at the hot water heater. Now dude gets out and goes and sees his stuff gone. Like, it could only be the dude who I told, who I stole his stuff while I was at court. And bro, they were funking hard. And everyone knew about it. I knew about it. I know. And I was at a pad. And I seen one of the dudes. And I was seeing myself. And it'd be funny. The other one showed up. And the other one showed up. And I didn't even know who was who. I got it mixed up which one did which. I just know they're both. Bro, they're like, wait, hang on. Wait, how do you do that thing? They're mad. And they slung him tough, bro. They slung him really, really tough over that one. A lot of people recorded it. And it's funny because one dude smashed him. And at the very, very end, the dude got a couple good shots in. And that's what everyone recorded. It takes a while to get your phone out and stuff. And that's what circulated, that dude getting it. And no one saw him get his ass smashed like the first 1,800 minutes. So, Billy Elliot, a.k.a. Preacher Man, that's my homeboy from kindergarten. He said, if I could pick one homeboy to have my back, besides him, of course, he said. Billy says, besides me, who would it be? Man, there's a homeboy named Stretch. That's a pretty common, popular name, Stretch. I could think of 3 or 4 Stretches. But Stretch, Mark Castro, good dude. Had my back on the streets over that mooch thing, because I stabbed one of the homeboys, and I got in trouble for it. Even though he kind of dry snitched on me, all the homeboys were mad at me because I should have just gave him a head of fade. I should not have used a weapon on the homeboy, even though he cheap shot at me. It's a whole ordeal. I was in trouble for it. But that dude, Stretch, had my back, stuck up verbally, and then rolled around with me, gonna kick up some dust behind it, and then in county jail. Dude, there was a summer, my first time I ever did extended time in jail, I did a summer. I did like 4 months. And dude, it was the Royal Rumble with the Southsiders. Constantly. There's this one dude, he had a tattoo, Brown Magic, and he would just stir the pot, the Southside. I just remember him. Every time there was some drama, he'd be right there in the corner, like, bro, we just non-stop were riding with Southsiders that summer. Always outnumbered. Stretch had my back. Good dude. Good solid dude. I fought with him one time too. He even punched me. And we didn't get to finish the fight because anyways. Like, what happened? You're leaving us hanging. I can't tell you because I told you before, but he punched me before I could even react. The dude that was with me took off running. So both of us were like, where the hell are you going? And then by the time I talked, I'm like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, you did this and that. I was like, no, I didn't. And worked it out. So anyways, yeah, that's what happened there. Robert Sawyer. Abscess horror story. Bro, I got an abscess horror story for you. I have an abscess. I'm going to go to the hospital. I go to my Garga Connections house. I seen when I went to his pad, my ex-girlfriend who told on me and got me that 4-year term, when I went there, I seen her and I was like, whoa, shocked. She saw me and left. And I was like, hey, bro, I gotta tell you that she testified against me. I don't think she'll tell on you, though. I think it's because I was her boyfriend. I stole her car. Her mom made her. I don't think she's like a snitch. I don't think she'll tell on you, but I gotta give you a heads up. She did tell on me. Now I'm going to the hospital for this big abscess. He gave me some Gattaca. He even took me to the hospital. I showed up. They gave me an IV. They cut up my abscess. They let me stay a couple nights in the hospital. The doctor ordered all this morphine and all these good IV drugs for me to kill the pain. The IV fell out. The IV fell out. And the nurse would not re-put it in. Instead, was giving me like one Vicodin. And I was like, no! One Vicodin is nothing, dude. I want what the doctor ordered, homeboy. I want the IV shot. So that's my absolute horror story. Being in the hospital with morphine ordered to me, and I couldn't get it because there's no IV. I mean, I'm sitting there trying to put it in myself. And then I called my roommate, told her to bring me a syringe. And I had a bunch of syringes around my house. One was broken. Which one do you think she brought? Because remember, my connection gave me some and then dropped me out of the hospital. I was going to fix it in the bathroom at the hospital. She brought me the broken one. Ah! That's that horror story. I think I have one more. Blue waffle breakfast, restroom etiquette. How do you use the restroom, handle your business without disrespecting? You pee sitting down. It's very important. What's very important is keep the sink clean. That's even more important than not pissing on the seat. That sink has to be clean. Everyone keep a little rag right here. And dude, you always keep that seat clean. Someone mentioned the other day about stand-up wiping. Never heard of it. I don't do it. I don't know anyone who does. I think if you try to stand up wipe in a cell, you'd probably get rushed and body slammed. They think there was definitely something wrong. They wouldn't want your cack and balls to swing in and you have to see the toilet paper. It's just way too much, dog. No on that one. So just, yeah, pee sitting down, keep that seat clean. Everyone chips on farting. Farting's going to happen. I remember when I was at CMC West, they would sell this protein powder on commissary. Dude, it would make you fart all day long. There was even a dorm 4 at CMC West, and I was there, made a rule, all races agreed, no one could be on that protein powder. Because it's just like, burn, 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 all day long, dog. It happens, homeboy. It's kind of touch and go in a cell at first, when you first meet someone. But after a while, you lived with them for a couple months, and you played dominoes, like, rip, not even giving her rip. Pun intended. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to do another video tomorrow, because, dude, look, I got 2 riots 2 years in a row, February 7th and February 7th. Crazy. Also, 2 Thanksgivings in a row. Crazy stuff happened. I got another Thanksgiving video tomorrow. I can call it, the Royal Rumble. But I already used that word today. I'm going to get creative with it. Hardcore Thanksgiving video coming up tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving. Much love. Much respect. Cut the string, let it fly. Peace.